You know, my story is pretty funny. Since my parents were in the military, I started off way back, born in Colorado, and then moved kind of all over. Fun fact, lived in Italy for 3 years, then ended up in DC and from around when I was 12, and been there, stationed there. We've been stationed there pretty much ever since. And then from a basketball standpoint, you know, played AAU there. I was with Good Counsel Basketball. And then Coach Mountain recruited me, and I went to Quinnipiac, played at Quinnipiac for 4 years. And then after Quinnipiac, after I graduated, I played professionally for 2 years in Denmark. And then last year, I was a graduate assistant at VCU. So, and then once Coach Mountain got the job here, it was meant to be, and it worked out that I came here. The very first time I talked to Coach Mountain, I don't remember the exact time, but what I can tell you is that the one thing I remember most about our recruiting process was how persistent and present he was. He wasn't just one of those coaches that would come and sit at one game and then leave. No, he was at every single one of my games. Like and that was the thing that I appreciated most about him as a recruit, was just how much he really not only said that he cared, but proved it. You know, like some coaches would call and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna come see you play," and they would come, but they would come for one game. And he was just very, very persistent. And again, I don't remember the exact conversation, but I remember many different conversations we had throughout the recruiting process. It's funny because it gives me chills to think about now, but he really wanted me to come to campus pretty quick in my recruiting process. And you know, I was kind of putting it off because I had never heard of Quinnipiac. My friends had never heard of Quinnipiac, and then through his persistence and, you know, his ability to just really make you feel like he cared, he got me and my dad to come up. And I know it's cliche, but the second I stepped onto campus, I knew that was going to be home. Coach Mountain and Coach Fabry just really made me feel welcomed, and that I was more than just a player, but really I was going to be a person in their lives that they truly cared about and wanted to develop. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, that feeling was there from the start. I went on a couple other visits, but I always knew that it was going to be Quinnipiac after that initial visit. Definitely. So prior to my sophomore year, Quinnipiac had never won a championship, never been to the tournament. And so my sophomore year was the first time that ever happened. And not only was it the first time, but it also happened on the court at Quinnipiac, on our home court, which, like, there's no better feeling than to celebrate the very floor that you worked so hard on for the first 2 years of college. It was an incredible experience, and that definitely sticks out. And then also, you know, championships are always what's going to really stick out. So also winning my senior year, but like Mountain always says, there's nothing like the first one. So definitely the first championship, the first time we went to the tournament, is what sticks out the most. And then as far as like Coach Mountain's concerned, like I just remember after every game, like as the point guard of the team, he would always have something to say to me. Like, of course, when I played bad, it wouldn't be very good, but most of the time, it was always something positive that made me think of things in a different way that maybe I didn't think of before. He just always has a way of really making you think of things, you know, just in a different way as a player. Honestly, the coaches at Quinnipiac. Coach Fabry, Coach Mountain, obviously, and then all the other ones, Coach Warner, Coach Danielle Wexler. They just really, I felt that they really shaped me and helped me become the person that I am today at such a substantial point in my life. And if I could do that for, you know, many young women to come, like, that's my goal. Of course I want to win. Of course that's one of the main things I want to do, but to help young women really grow into great people and then go out into the world and conquer the world. That's what I'm really, really interested in. I think it's just going to be really fun, like building this program from where we are now, like being here in June, July, and these months, and then seeing to where we can be in in next March, and hopefully at championship form is the goal, and then just seeing it build year in and year out. I guess for the long term, what I'm most excited for. But I think for right now, it's just really getting to know the girls, getting to know the staff members, and coming together and working towards a common goal. And then I'm also really excited to recruit, and I've never done it before, so I'm really excited for that. And then I guess lastly would be like the game scouts. I'm really excited. I think that's, you know, kind of like chess, to really figure out what the other team does well and counter it. So those three things are probably what I'm most excited about. Definitely the girl that's going to do all the extra stuff, whether it's offensive rebounding, running on the floor after a ball, helping their teammate out, like all those little nitty-gritty type of things. That's what's going to stand out to me. Of course, the skill is important, but if you can bring that to the table, we can teach you the skill. That's kind of how I feel about it. So, as far as the school goes, you know, I've never really been in Philly much, so I'm really excited to get to know the city and the Big Five and all that kind of stuff. I'm also really excited because I've got to meet the president of the university, and I think she has a great vision for the school. And so I'm really excited to see where she takes us from a university standpoint. So, yeah.